Hey Jamie, how's it going? How's Andy kind of framed this last two games, this block? How you want to kind of close out? What memory you want to leave with this one?
Well, there's a triple crown up for grabs first and foremost. So, we know that we beat England with two big games at home, and there's silverware on the line there. So that's obviously important to us, and it's important to us to retain that. And also, we had a good performance against England, but we don't want to just have that and then finish out the tournament with poor performances. I think it's important that we build on that because not only for like what happens in next year, but also in the summer we have tough challenges as well. So I think building on performances.
What do you think is kind of the key to that consistency that you're kind of striving for to try and back up those good performances?
It's again, intent is a big word, so it was used a lot. It's probably it's a bit of intent, a bit of edge about us in each game, and just making sure that we're on it physically and mentally.
Just I were talking to you, I think it was in Melbourne towards the end of the Leinster. When you got off the back of it and you came home and you had a summer, how did you kind of reflect on that couple of weeks that you spent there, and what did it give to you, think, as a player, as a person, to experience that?
It was probably gave me confidence being in that group and training with that group. Getting to play a game was unbelievable, and just gave me the motivation to try and make sure that I can compete and be involved and play against these players in the biggest games going forward.
Jamie, just jump back to what you said about fullback and like having that freedom to pick where you jump in. It seems to come naturally, I suppose, obviously for your try and Twickenham, you gave the pass to Stewart, didn't you, for his line break. What are you actually looking for when you're trying to make a decision about where to go when you start attacking?
You're just looking, I suppose, for what their defence is doing, space, whether spacings of their defence or density of the numbers, really, and if we're a team that wants to play the space, and I think we as a backline we're pretty good in Twickenham in terms of getting the ball, and especially on those transitions where it comes off a kick, the defence is a bit disorganised compared to maybe other parts of the game.
You mentioned Kieran came on fullback. Is it a big challenge for you to shift within a game from 15 to 30?
It's maybe a little bit in the moment, but you get used to it pretty quickly once you're involved. Once you're involved in a play or two, you kind of, I find it, you kind of get used to it.
Yeah. And then last one, you mentioned your family were over in Twickenham. I obviously saw Andrew go ahead the other day. How do your other brothers get along rugby-wise? Are they?
They're playing one of them's playing under 20s in Ace, then there's I don't know what age the other lad is, and then the other age is under 10s or something. So yeah, it's pretty young. Yeah.
They must be loving following you around.
Yeah, they love it. They love going to the games. Mad.
Okay.
Thanks, Derek and Johnny.
Jamie, do you train much at 15 at Leinster?
I haven't trained at Leinster in a while now since the injury, but start of the season I played 15 for Leinster for the two games I played, so it's 15 then.
And who's the 15 guru at Leinster? Who's marching around training in a tracksuit saying you got that wrong or you got that right?
I suppose just the backs coaches, and I suppose Jacques would take defensive side of things. Tyler and Emmett Farrell would take kind of attack, Emmett being like more kicking side. So.
And then just sort of a Ruth and Murray question: the timing for the try off Stuart McCluskey's shoulder was exceptional. Who would have been working with you on that playbook? I mean, that's not one of Hugo's to come in at first centre. He comes in wider. Just as a general rule, who would have been working with you specifically on that particular kind of playbook style?
Just sorry, which is that the Italy one?
The one you take off. He's on his knees and he just you're in the right spot.
I suppose I was kind of an option out the back off Gary, so he obviously played Stu on the front ball, so I just followed him in because he tends to get his hands free, and also if he does get tackled, there's probably the ruck to hit as well there. So
what I'm digging for there, Jamie, is that neither Jacques nor Emmett are at Ireland training. So who's walking around telling you got that right or you got that wrong at Ireland training?
I think Anna Goody and Faz would always talk about staying in the play and making sure that we can take those opportunities. Yeah, it's about staying in the play really.
Okay, last question, Johnny.
Jimmy, has there been a conscious effort by you just to maybe get into more support lines and offensive lines? You just seem to get on the ball and be coming forward a bit more often than you did a couple of matches ago. Has that been in your thinking, or it's just natural evolution?
I think probably as a whole in the backs we've probably talked about being a bit more ambitious to get on the ball. So I think that's probably been the main thing.
You can play centre as well. Do you think that's a help that you're running into those spaces?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I don't know.
And sorry, finally, is part of that whole thing having you got the ball from Stu on his knees? Is it knowing how the other players play, or timing, or just understanding how they do things?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's a big part of it, and I think that comes with playing with people week in, week out, doesn't it? So you definitely learn the most from that. Yeah, definitely.